First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Tonight, we wrap up Week 11 with a good Monday nighter between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. They start the drive with Cook. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. Again, it's Cook. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run facing second and that long, and that element of surprise, I think, helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like second and impossible. Now has him within throwing range of a first down.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. And he will go out of bounds down at the 15-yard line. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Up the middle, it's Cook. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Vikings will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0.
7, Lions 0. Eddie Piñeiro set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And some room to maneuver. Able to slither by. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 35. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all Lebanon defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram. He'll get it inside the 20. Touchdown, Detroit!
And what a weapon he is at the tight end spot, because when they throw him the football downfield, they count on him getting additional yardage almost every time. And that's exactly what he did there. Caught that, ran with it, all the way to the end zone.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
Steps away to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds a defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Well, this defense for the Lions, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Here's Huntley, sliding out of the pocket. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Knight, and he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. The Lions at 9-1 on the year. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Second and 6. From the gun, it's Lawrence. His throw incomplete. He's trying to get it to Amon-Ra St. Brown. 3rd down here.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. This defense not fooled that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they've run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
On 2nd and 12, Lawrence throwing the out route incomplete. That's Knight. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Badgley able to knock this one through, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. 10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They run the counter with Cook. And this will be a Vikings first down as he's able to get this up past the 40. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be second down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Huntley to throw. Looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again. On the move past the 40. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 28. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27. Give to Cook out of the gun. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. To throw, Huntley. And incomplete on the deep ball.
With how the coverage was positioned, up was about the only spot the quarterback had to try and deliver that pass. Just put a little too much height on it. Incomplete.
And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And that will knot us up at 10. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes. He just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you're probably going to have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. On second down, Lawrence throwing the out route and complete. That's Knight. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead them to 4th down. Here's Jack Fox now. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Huntley, flush to his right. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground, because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
99 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
And Shark hauls it in.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Knight. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
On 2nd and 7, Lawrence. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
That's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort, but instead he sets his guys up in excellent shape with a 1st and goal.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown.
Zonovan Knight with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Lions will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
Extra point by Badgley up and good. And that makes it a 17-10 score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Well, the offense, Charles, they were flirting with disaster, already backed up deep in their own territory. So the interception and the pick 6 ensued. That was a big play.
It certainly was, and the short field gave him the rare opportunity to take it all the way back and quickly. And once he saw that he had an open field, there's no way he's going to let that opportunity slip away, and finds his way into the end zone.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Lawrence. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Lawrence. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Lawrence. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Lawrence. On the slant, this is Chark. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
Here we go on 4th down. They find some open field here. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Good spot on the field to go for it. Kind of no man's land, as they call it, and it worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter's telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow. Might be too far for the field goal, so it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
From the gun on third down, Lawrence. Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Lions take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Throwing on first down. Huntley. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Huntley's throw complete to Rager. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. He'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
They're going to try and throw. He finds Lynch. It's complete. And he is going to pick up the Vikings first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. On first down, Huntley. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Off the play fake. Huntley. Open right side, complete to Rager. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half. And down 3 scores, a lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
It reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Now, these two teams faced off earlier in the year, right around mid-season, back in Week 9. And it was the Lions who got the road victory in that one, so they'll be looking to claim the season series now here at home in Detroit.
From the 39, Lawrence. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now Lawrence to throw. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. That's caught inside the 20. A big connection on that one. 45 yards. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Now a give right side. It's Knight. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Lions on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6.
Lawrence will throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
And now both of these defenses have something to brag about following this one, each with a pick 6 today.
They are even there, but we still have to decide a winner, don't we, partner? And what they really want to brag about after this one is getting that W. The turnovers are great. Can they make plays now that tilt the balance in their favor?
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And the pick 6 we just saw makes things a little more interesting. Still, though, a 2-possession game as they control their destiny in this 4th quarter. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On 2nd down. It's Knight. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He put it on the carpet, a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Partner.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
On 1st down, Knight. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Second down at 7. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Knight. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on third. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Up the middle they go. It's Knight, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Lawrence. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Chase Young make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Right now, they're in a bit of a tough spot here, CD. You're trailing by double digits. Remember the last time out, they fumbled. They're going to have to play some clean football here on this possession.
And all the talk on their sideline has been about taking care of the football, making sure that they're handling the ball correctly. So you know they'll be squeezing the rock pretty tight here. They just have to be careful not to go so hard in doing that they actually cause themselves other problems. Take care of the ball, but still try and play free and natural.
Here's Huntley. And Dotson, he's got it. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings. Huntley. Throw left side complete. That's Lynch. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
It's complete to Cook. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Being chased out left toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now Huntley.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lynch. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Here we go. 77 look. Viking 18.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down.
Here's Huntley.
And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the first down marker. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Lions are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities, and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels. They take the ball away. They change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for Detroit, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And now they'll have the short week ahead as they'll host their annual